Hello, my name's Acacia, welcome back. I've realised I've pretty much never given my name in a video before. I've got a busy day today, I don't know, have you got a busy day today? Let me know. Today is a mixture of, one, we're going to be making some hats. I will show you the hats. And two, figuring out how to use this camera for video. This is a camera that I bought. It was the first big purchase I bought with my first job when I was 14. And I used it for photography for many, many years. I was really into photography. I even did event photography for my school. But then I got really sick in high school. And so I didn't, between being sick and it being grade 12, you've got a lot going on. I didn't touch the camera for about a year, and it was a very hot year, and the battery swelled up inside the camera that you are in right now. And I just kind of thought, it's a goner. I can't fix that. It'll have leaked all in, nothing will save it. I spent a lot of time trying to get the battery out, but it just never really worked, so I thought, it's a goner. It's a goner! But one day I thought, okay, well maybe I should finally hand it into Ted's Cameras and see if I can get a little bit of money for a cashback, maybe buy a new camera. So I thought, I'm gonna give this my last ditch attempt to get this battery out, and it basically just involved hitting the camera over and over and over again to get the battery out. And it worked, and the camera's fine, and the camera works perfectly. So, it wouldn't be worth $800 today, but I spent $800 on this camera back in 2017. So basically I saved myself $800. But it's not a film camera, it's made for photography, so I've also never filmed on it before. I don't even know how good the audio is on this camera. It records audio, but I also don't have an SD to USB-C adapter yet, so I've not put any of this footage from this camera into my laptop. So I have no idea if it's good or not. We have a camera, I'm going to be figuring out how to use the camera. But, on to the more exciting things, which you'll be actually interested in. Hats. Now, I have made hats for quite a number of years. I've made some finer millinery hats, but people don't really buy them. But I've been interested in going to markets for various things. I've had a couple of different Etsy stores over the years, but I've never been able to justify the cost of them, especially when you have to often buy your own public liability insurance, which I understand why you have to do it, but it's an extra cost that I didn't want to pay. But a local community group is doing a market, and so it's a lot chiller. I don't need the same insurance, and so I applied, and I'm going to be selling sun hats. I started making these when my husband's cousin was having a baby, and I thought, what is a good baby shower gift? I thought a baby-sized sun hat would be really cute. So I bought a pattern and I made it. And since then I've made another one for someone else who knew he was having a baby, and then a matching one for her, and then she asked for a matching one for her husband. So I've made a few of these. But I really like them and I think they're so cute. I have made four for this market so far. We've got fishes. I had a dress made out of this fabric many, many years ago, and this is the offcuts of it. It's a woman carrying a pie. And I do have my own custom labels from when I thought I could make millinery a business. That's not what I'm doing for work, so you can figure out how that turned out. Possums and some bicycles. And then I thought I should make some different patterns. So I found this one online for free. It's a little tulip hat. I think it's super cute, and I did decorative stitches on this one. Currently, we have an issue of sizing. It's a baby sun hat pattern. The larger size is for 14 years. I find that larger size fits my head really, really well. However, when I've tried it on my husband's head, now he does have a large skull. It doesn't fit. And so I've tried making a bigger one, but it was way too big. So I need to try and unearth the pattern I printed out when I made it for Travis's co-worker's husband, because that one fit him. So hopefully I'll be able to unearth that, because then I'll be able to offer multiple sizes. Here we have our pattern pieces. This is for the brimmed sun hat, and this is for the tulip hat. My printer is broken. I traced these off of my laptop. That's why they're made out of Sharpie. Hi, Bobson. Now, this one says it has a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm more familiar with metric, but both of these are in inches. I ended up doing this with that's incorrect, it's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I ended up doing this with a 1/2 inch seam allowance as well, just because 5/8 is a lot, but it made it a lot bigger. The hardest part of the sun hat is both cutting the brim and attaching the brim. That is honestly what takes me the most time, because it's cut on a double fold. So you have to make sure things are folded very neatly and the right way. I like to cut out multiple. I'm going to be using this fabric as a lining for multiple hats. I like to cut out multiple at once because cutting out fabric is my least favorite part of the job. So I find ironing in the creases when I do the brim really helps, because it helps to give a sharp corner, which means a more accurate size. The good thing about a plain fabric, oh, I broke my tailor's chaw. I don't have to worry about it being the right way up. It has to be, the grain way is that way, but it means I can do it upside down as well. It doesn't use as much fabric, whereas the possum fabric I did wasn't super efficient because I had to kind of make sure the right patterns were in the little window. Now for one of these, I want this to be the other fabric, a nice neutral one. I am not a neutral person, but I know many people are. This is not a good iron, by the way. It's $7 from Kmart. I have a really good iron downstairs. It's a $400 something iron because that's what I do for work. I do people's washing and ironing. So I bought that for work, and I will use that to finish off the hats, but I don't feel like setting up my heavy duty ironing board and iron for this sort of stuff. I should not be ironing on my bloody cutting mat. I don't finish the inside seams on all of these fabrics. I am on this one because it's a relatively loosely woven quilting cotton. So you can see it's very easily fraying, but things like this orange, it's got a stretch in it, really not fraying much. Like that's not gonna, I mean it's a tiny bit, but that's not gonna fray once it's hidden inside. And the thing is, it's already very bulky because it's an intersection of 6 points, at least 10 layers in the center of the hat, and that already causes a little bit of issues for my sewing machine. One thing that I don't like about this sewing machine, I love this sewing machine, I would strongly recommend it. There's not much I don't like about it. There's 2 things I don't like about it. One, you cannot sew with the foot up. My mum's sewing machine, which I learned to sew on and I sewed on for many years, you could sew with the foot up, which was very handy for when you were sewing through lots of layers of fabric, because you could push it along yourself without it being like stuck under the foot. And you cannot do just a zigzag stitch without a straight stitch. I'll show you. Here's the stitch gallery, and there's the numbers. Oh wait, no. Oh, okay, I've never actually noticed that. Oh, I kind of want to try that one. Ignore me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I did a little green leaf stitch to finish the edge of the tulip hat. I think it looks super cute. One thing that was very hard on this hat was getting the perfect curves. They're not perfect curves. You can see where I've notched the fabric. I've notched there and I've notched there because it's a bit flat in between. Another awesome thing about this sewing machine is it auto cuts. So you can press this button and it will cut both the top thread and the bottom thread. And so you can just pull it out without trimming anything. Sometimes it won't cut all the way through, but that's rare. And if you press this button, it means every single time after you lock stitch, it will automatically cut without you having to press it. I love that. Hello. So we have two halves. We have the lining, which would go the other way, but... And the top. I mean, technically these could be reversible, but I think me putting on the tag on it is kind of what stops that. And then all that's left to do is sandwich them together, then flip it inside out, and then you have to top stitch the brim. So let's get cracking. It's just kind of a lump before I iron it. Here we have the hat UFO. On to the next one, and then I'll take them down to the iron together. Much less ball shaped now, and it's got a proper brim on it. Two hats. Okay, I have two hats done. The last thing I do, which I don't think I'll show you because it's a bit boring, is I just hand stitch from the crown of the outside to the crown of the inside, just to keep it together, because otherwise you can just... Now on some in the past I have put a little button and a buttonhole so you can pull it up, but I don't think I need to on the ones with this lining because it's quite stiff. I think these are the best ones I've made. They're stiff, they're nice. So yeah, that means I now have 7 hats. I honestly have no idea how many I should make, but we'll see. Any that I don't sell at the market, I'll be putting on my Etsy. So if there are ones left over after the market, I'll put the link below, but I'll be uploading this before the market, so that link won't be there anyway. I might put a link to my Etsy anyway. It's shut though. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, comment. I hope you have a great day. I hope you've had fun. Go relax. Do whatever you want. Don't pick this colour for your nails. And have a wonderful day. Mwah! Bye! This is my production assistant. I autofocus on this guy, or manually focus on this guy, and then I move and I say, this is Pip, short for Pip Squeak, because he's huge.